Hey, hello everybody. Welcome on in. Hope you're having a good night tonight. Happy Thursday, y'all. As I say every Thursday. I've always been a Friday person. Well, welcome. Hey, welcome to the channel. This is WagWorksGA, as your Twitch app or browser is clearly telling you right now. I'm Geoff, or you can call me Wags, or you can call me Geoff, or a lot of people call me Greg, honestly, and I don't get why. Anyway, that's me. Welcome on in. I am an artist. I am half of a creative team with my wife, Ashley. That's the GA in WagWorksGA. And we do kids comics together, primarily. So that means we've got like a graphic novel project or several of them that we're working on and working on getting published. We also do shorter form comics with like a bit of educational content for younger ones. So you'll see some of that kind of work here, but you'll also see some of my broader work that I do. So I like to do a lot of game fan art. That is probably a bulk of what we do on this channel, but not tonight. And also some slice of life type comics that I like to do, just, family life. I'm a dad, I got 2 kids. Lots of funny things happen. All sorts of whimsical hijinks, if you will. But that's the channel. That's what we do here. I hope you're having a good night. I hope you have a good time. Really, we just kind of go for some chill art time here. So kind of like a school art studio vibe. I'm just gonna be working. If you like to draw, please feel free to draw along with. I'm gonna grab my art glove here. Otherwise, just hang out, chat, don't chat, lurk if you want. This is a lurk positive environment as always. I'm just happy to have you here. This is my chill time to kind of unwind at the end of the day, make some progress on some art, have a good chat if folks are feeling chatty. So I'm just happy you're here. Thanks for joining. First order of business. If you're a longtime viewer, we're home after a few weeks on the road and a week off. I'm back. So it is good to be back. It is good to have that part of my brain back. I love travel when we can do it. But when you're juggling a bunch of stuff, it turns out, it's kind of helpful to have some of your brain back to work on it. It's been nice settling back in. What else? I think that's it. That's all my stuff for tonight. So I'm going to jump in with warm-up. It has been a few weeks since we've done warm-up on a stream. Not that we can't use it. I like to do a quick warm-up here. It's pretty simple stuff, but my twist on it is I use these guys. So I've grabbed a few. We've got plenty of cards in the house. I've grabbed a few that I think could be interesting or sometimes challenging or just kind of fun. Might make a cute picture. And what I do is I shuffle them, and then I'm going to randomly pick one of these guys. And that will be our Pokemon that we'll warm up on. And we got Snom. Just Snom. So the deal with warm-ups is this. I'm going to spend 5 minutes on it. I like to work through kind of the pretty common process for a lot of art, especially comics, of sketch. Then you do pencils, which is like a little bit cleaner sketch, tightening up on those lines. Then do final lines, colors, shading, all that good stuff, time allowing. For this warm-up, I'm going to spend 5 minutes. I'm not going to probably get past the sketch phase. I might get to pencils. Probably not, let's be honest. I'm curious how I'm going to pull this off with Snom because it doesn't have any appendages. It's just the posing could be interesting, creative. We'll figure out what we're going to do. So I'm pulling up a reference right now, as I always like to do. I bring that over. And what we're gonna do before I start timer, I'm gonna test this out tonight. I was playing around a little bit with, this is why I started the stream like 2 minutes late. I was playing around a little bit with fresh layouts. So this new one gives a little more focus to the art, less on the Clip Studio paint. kind of layers menus and all the other stuff. And yeah, we can see chat now. So we're gonna try it out, at least for a little bit tonight. I might switch back to the old layout if it, you know, doesn't quite feel like it's working, but I think this should be good. So we're gonna try it out. All right, cool. I'm gonna do a couple of prep things before the timer starts, just to give myself a little time here. All right, remove that. I'm gonna resize this. It's really cute. Okay. And I can type sketch. Yes, I can. I most certainly can do that. Just my table over here. All right, so you know the drill. You know what I'm doing. You are welcome to draw along with. You can draw Snom. You can draw another Pokemon. You can draw something that's not a Pokemon, but I encourage you to draw just because it's fun. Even if you don't usually draw, it can be very therapeutic. So 5-minute timer, and we start now. All right. And I like to use a non-black color. I'm gonna go to my handy dandy design pencil brush. All right, so that's so cute. So what I like to do for my warm-up Pokemon is I like to I like to do them sleeping. I don't know why that was so hard to say. Yes, I like to draw sleeping Pokemon because 1, it's adorable, and 2, giving myself that quick little topic or focus is a quick restraint that I can add on that, while it limits some of what I can do, it ends up helping me make decisions much quicker and getting started on the drawing. So I'm not spending just forever thinking about what exactly I want to draw, you know, and it turns out analysis paralysis is real, and you can spend just a whole lot of time thinking about what you want to do, but not actually doing it. Okay, this is definitely an interesting one. It's like, if you've ever heard of the drill they do for animators, like where you have to draw like a sack of flour, right? And the whole thing is that you have to make the sack of flour emote and do all these like poses and stuff to really show life and movement. And it's a really cool drill to take something that's a really simple object, but think about, okay, how do I make this emote? I don't know why it has a butt for a mouth, but it does. Such is Snom, and that's okay. Actually, the eyes are even a little bit lower. Okay. Well, that does add a little wrinkle to it, and it's kind of translucent. Like you can almost see in the reference that like it's got basically the pillow-shaped body with like it's like ice spikes over the top, which is pretty cool. It is fun when you do like fan art or you're drawing something that, you know, has already been created and is out there. It's interesting because you get to see all the little design choices that they made, putting it together, and you can kind of be like, oh, that's cool, I didn't notice that before, because like, you know, your eye can kind of gloss over stuff a little bit. This is going to be a pretty tight sketch just because there's not really a whole lot to this guy. And I didn't really vary up the posing a whole lot. Usually I like to do a little more so I don't just feel like I'm tracing. But at the same time, there's just not much to this one to mess around with. I've tried to adjust it, at least move the head, get a little bit of that feeling of, you know, moving it. Janos, Frankie, hey. Frank, holy moly, how long has it been? The retirement home is calling, looking for me. Well, you know, they'll never catch me. Yeah, guys, what's up? How's everybody doing tonight? It is good to see you both. Alright, well, I'm just gonna kind of call those pencils, because this is, I don't really know what to. And yes, Janos, I don't know why this Pokemon has, like, a butt mouth. It's kind of odd, but that's the decision they made. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, wow, this is like... Alright, well maybe I'm gonna get to lines then. Maybe I'm just gonna go ahead and line this then. Or the timer will go off when I make a decision. Good times. The cheery closed eyes I drew did not help its kid. Probably not. It's been a full year. Holy moly, Frank. I knew it had been a while. Well, wait. Didn't I? So I thought maybe it's at least October or November, but it's been a while. How's it been going? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and save this. I like to save them because I can always come back to these later and finish them out if I'm so inclined. I haven't done a warm-up for like a month, holy moly. But in fact, 2 full years. In fact, it's actually been 4. Absolutely. That math checks out. Alright, well, now I'm just gonna get the possibly obscene Pokemon face off there. Alright. In fact, it's actually been 30 years. I know, it's hard to believe. It just goes by in the blink of an eye. Long lost great grandfather, you never met him. I mean, that would explain why he calls me Gramps. Okay, so now that I've closed that off, by the way, I'm gonna transition on over to pencils for this guy. So this is our project. We're working on. So we work with a pretty sizable group of comics creators, community called Kids Comics Unite. And then there's a subset of them called Kids Comics Studio. And we're actually working together to create our first ever anthology project with a collection of short comics centered around fairly simple themes, with the comics being aimed mostly kind of at that middle grade range. So we're working on a 4-pager to submit as part of that, which I've been working on the last couple of streams. In fact, he's not actually real at all. Waggy, you've been in a coma for almost 40 years since you hit your head in the 3rd grade. Please wake up. Your mother's very sick. It's so sad. I can't. Janos, it's so sad. I can't do it. Do you ever wonder that though? Like, what if everything I'm experiencing, like, what if it's just been like a dream? Like, and you know how that, like, in dreams everything kind of builds out and makes sense, and you have a memory but it's kind of a fake memory that you think back to things. Yeah, what if the reality you're experiencing right now is just a dream, and you're gonna wake up and actually you're somebody else entirely, and you'll be like, oh, what was that weird dream I had where I was like on a computer doing art? That's weird. These are the things that keep me up at night, or keep me asleep at night. I don't know which. Anyway, so I went last week after after a less exciting stream 2 weeks ago, just getting the page specs right for the printer. Last week I'd already thumbnailed this out, and I made some adjustments as Ashley and I had talked about. So I got all those in a pretty short stream. You wonder that all the time? That's all. So yeah, I don't know if I've ever actually asked anybody about that, but it's really cool to, you know, actually hear someone else also thinks about that frequently. I think, well, in some ways it'd be exciting to think about a different life. Like, I think I would be sad. I would miss so much of the life that I have right now. First and foremost, you know, my family, Ashley, the kids. Like, if they were not actually real, I would wake up and I would be so sad. Yeah. And Geoff just sits in silence for the next hour and 37 minutes. Like 45% of it? Okay. You know what? That's a pretty solid percentage, honestly, I think. If you were to ask me, which you didn't, but that's okay. That's only a little depressing. I don't think it's depressing because, like, you know, you spend a big chunk of your day doing things that you have to do. I think this is true for most people, right? I think you'd be slightly fine with it. Like, imagine waking up and being like, bro. You wake up next to a completely different person and they look at you and say, honey, are you okay? And you look at them and you say, I'm just a widow eccentric. You have so much knowledge beyond your time depending on how long you were asleep. That would be interesting, yes. I don't know, what if it's one of those things where it's like, you have this totally in-depth and detailed dream and you wake up and you only remember like glimpses of it. Like a majority of it is just kind of lost to the ether. I mean, come on. You knew I was gonna do it, right? Like, you knew. Janos, you know exactly why I do it. It's because I'm a widow eccentric. Oh! Janos, I realize I don't have to create a quote bot. Stream Elements already did it for me. We can add quotes to our heart's desire. It exists already. So, like, I haven't tried it yet, clearly. Oh, okay. Yeah, please do rest. Take care of yourself. Have a good lurk. I hope you're okay. Maybe I will. We can play with the quote function another time, because I am gonna do the actual art. But yeah, I hope you're feeling okay. I hope you feel better if you're not feeling okay. Okay. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the panels. Maybe I should also just get the panels in here. So we're gonna vector layer that. Which, oh yeah, you can't see that anymore with this layout. Okay. So create frame. Snap to borders. Gonna turn off that. Okay. Okay, and now I can divide my panels. Wow, I actually approximated these gutters pretty well. Usually I draw them very small or very big, and they're much smaller, but that actually kind of came out perfect. Okay, cool. Well, so Frank, also, if you're still here, I'd love to hear what's been going on for you. Are you still doing the mail route? How's Lily? Was it Lily? How's she doing? How's the comic going? I haven't been super active on Instagram as of late, so I haven't seen if there's been new Blob Fathers or the goose one. Yeah, clearly I've been a little bit out of it on that end of things. All right, so I've got panels in, and that's great. I'm excited for it. These guys out, put in this. Turn down my sketch layer a little bit. Okay. So I'm playing around. I haven't really done any prep for getting more detailed on these characters. It's gonna be fairly generic here, but it's gonna come in and start filling in the details. I am attempting to do things a little bit less super thought out. I'm attempting to get this together in quicker order. As it turns out, I have 10 days to get this page inked and colored. I think I'm good with the other pages. They're pencils. They're pretty tight thumbnails, so I feel like those will count as pencils. So our first round of submission for this project is getting everything in by September 15th with one finished page and pencils for all the other pages. From there, we'll be getting like editorial feedback. If there are more pages submitted than there are pages in the book, they'll be going to like a judging thing to kind of determine who gets the longer comics. I think the longest comics in this book are going to be 8-pagers. So we don't really have a lot of free time to do the full 8 pages right now. So we aimed for a 4, which I think is a pretty happy medium. And yeah, I'm excited to get this together. I really love this comic. Ashley and I I pitched kind of an idea and kind of had a really rough idea, and then Ashley actually wrote it out and gave it a good plot and worked through it, and then I got the thumbnails in. So I'm excited to get this thing together. Okay, that might be, I can make this smaller. Maybe what I'll do is, that's a bit too angry. All right, come on. Like a little hint of a nose there. I think I like that. How's this looking on the layout? Let me just check that real quick. Pretty good. All right. So actually, draw the thumb coming in like this. Maybe give him like a wristband or something. That's a giant eraser at this scale. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. I think that hopefully will read pretty clearly as a compass. Okay. And really what I'm doing here, going to pencils, is my sketch was pretty tight to start with. I tend to like to do that and then really tighten it up when I go to pencils. I know I've said this before, but that's just, it makes it easier for me when I'm lining or inking to just focus on like pen pressure, which, you know, gives the quality of line that I'm looking for. You know, and at some point, maybe I'll be able to jump more from like thumbnails straight to lines. But for now, I like having that one less thing to think about when I go to ink. You know what I'm saying? All right, gonna bring down a ruler here. And also here. Just make sure I'm not drawing on the ruler layer. We've been down that road before. That. But do I even like that perspective? I don't think I do. Hold up. Hold up just a second. I'm gonna actually delete out that guide layer. So just for comparison, I'm gonna hop back and forth. This is my usual art layout here, and no chat, and it shows the full Clip Studio Paint window. By the way, Clip Studio Paint, amazing program, especially when you are working on comics and manga, although it has like an amazing range of illustration and art capabilities, animation as well, honestly. Anyway, that's my Clip Studio Paint plug. This is my usual window, and this is what I'm playing around with. Do we lose anything by not being able to look at my tool settings and layers? I like having the chat in here. I think that's nice. All right, we're gonna stick it out with this one. See what we think. All right, but what I'm gonna do is adjust the perspective here. So the base of the table is probably good here. That's not bad. But I think this table should be much flatter. Oh, I do want the guy. I do want that guide there, actually. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, I think that's... Actually, I could probably make this even more dramatic of an angle then. Yeah. I think that works pretty well. We have another leg like right here. No, that's probably more like that. Well, maybe I don't even need to worry about that so much. So then we got like a potion flask here. So I know I read through this comic last week. But as you probably can guess, there's clearly some fantasy and perhaps tabletop role-playing game influence strongly here. Draw that guy there. There's gonna be like the money pouch right there. Kind of just a generic amulet of some kind right there. And I like that because then that lets me put the fireplace a little bit lower and it gives some real estate for the title, which we decided on will be, I think, roll initiative. And by the way, the whole premise for this anthology project, the theme that we were given, is a kid is going on some sort of journey, and in some way meets an animal, a creature, either real or mythical. It doesn't have to be a prominent player in the story. It's just present or alluded to in some way. That was our theme brief. So I think it's cool. There's a lot of latitude there to do a lot of cool stuff. I'm really excited to see what everybody else comes up with too. I really enjoyed this community that we're working with. It's just a lot of super cool folks, and they do amazing work. Anytime there's like a pitch event or something like a community showcase, it's just, I am blown away. And it's oftentimes very inspiring to me to see the kind of work that everybody else is putting out. So yeah, I'm excited to see what everyone else is putting together for this. So bring the fireplace here. Rough this guy in. Ba, 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 ba. And maybe like a little. Maybe just like a little rug right in there. Like that. So then, yeah, we'll have the little bit like smaller. That seems good. And then yeah, put like the architectural beamwork in here. Actually, I like it a little bit off on the side. Maybe even put it, it's too, there we go. Just trying to avoid being too tangent with parts of the character to where it just looks like there's a straight line that extends even through him. It's usually a little more visually, tangent's not actually the word for that, tangent. But yeah, it's giving a little bit of offset, I think, is a little more visually satisfying. Yeah. All right. Then I might actually do a title pencil layer just to keep it separate. You can't see me doing it, but I'm doing it. Trust me. Trust me. Put that a different color just for some emphasis. Just kind of rough this in for now. We can clean it up a little bit. Maybe we could even have this be a 20-sided die. I'm a huge fan of that tail. Make this a little bit thicker. That's a little bit big. That's a wee bit big. Let's just bring it on down a bit. There we go. Also, don't be thrown off by the random accents of varying qualities. I was an only child, so I got very good at entertaining myself. By doing voices and accents and all sorts of things. I am rarely bored. Tell you that much. Is that enough room for initiative? That was a kind of big word. I'll see. Actually, I should echo the... I don't want to do this eye. Maybe something like that for this area. See, but if I'm not careful, it's just gonna look like a T. So maybe I'll so maybe like one kind of flowy but still spiky serif per, and then everything else is gonna be kind of that more triangular. So it's like yeah. Okay, so we can scale this down a little bit. Try to give you a little more breathing room. Or we could try maybe not quite like that. Okay, let's try this. I think this is on the right track. But maybe make initiative smaller. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know about that. I do think that this eye needs to be bigger. Because I want this for it to be something like that. Okay. But with reduced size, this will fit here. I think it's okay if the E sort of disappears a little bit behind the kid. I'm going to drop this down a little bit. Running into a little bit of spacing problems there, but I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Initiative. Everyone's favorite proactive word. I mean, I could just copy it, but I don't know. And what did I learn? And what did I learn? I learned that I should allow a little more space for my title text. I do have a little bit of a slant to that. I will clean that up later. I sure will. So I'm just going to create a folder for pencils. I think that's pretty good. All right, back to the actual drawing. And now here's something I think you'll really like. I'm losing some of the childlike cuteness in here that I was wanting to carry through, so that's too close. That's too close. I see that chat has reminded us about Core Toons Season 2, or Core Toons, and I'm super excited. We're getting ready to launch Season 2 starting in October. We actually just got to talk to our Core Toons friends today, and it was pretty awesome. So we got lots of fun stuff coming up planned for that. Clean this up a little. Okay, there will be a caption line here. Okay. Got the kind of pauldrons going on here on the armor. Now, you know what would make total sense is to actually have the armor in the first panel too. Kind of leads us a little more clearly in this. You should probably have like a satchel out too, so like these are the things you think of when you start getting details. So like, something like that. And what I could do then is, I think I'll shift the fireplace over. Actually, what I might do is this. I'm gonna put you on a separate layer so I can mess with you. But in the meantime, we're coming up on that 11 o'clock time, and I need to go to the bathroom. So I'm gonna put us on. Be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, grab some water or tea or something, and I'll be back in 2 or 3 minutes. So sit tight. Have a nice little break yourselves, and I will be right back. All right. See you guys in a few. Hey, I am back. Howdy, everybody. Alright, I hope you had a good break. I did. And I got some much needed tea that, as usual, I have no idea where the right place to put is in my streaming setup. But it's good. I've actually been doing a lot of honey and a little bit of like citrus juice and tea lately. My son, he is prolific lately at creating his own like little comics. Not little. He's created like 250 pages or more of comics in the last like several months, and they're like his favorite thing for us to read together at bedtime. And I do a lot of voices, and there's like monster screaming and explosions and stuff, and sometimes it gets my throat a little sore, so the honey is really nice for that. Alright, cool. Let's get back to it, huh? Alright, so this is on a separate layer, so that I don't overwrite stuff when I move it. If I put this over here, though, this is pretty good. I can actually just erase a little bit in here. That's pretty good. I can merge these guys down. Okay. Yeah, just kind of draw in the right here. Okay. And by doing that, I can put like the armor stand right here. Something like that, to that effect. I can even put like the base of the stand. Probably wooden would be my imagination in this setting. So something like that. So then we actually have the continuity of him like putting on the armor that we've just seen. So I like that. That makes a lot of sense to me. Just gonna sit here and vibe for a second to this music. Okay. And what I might do I was gonna move his head up, but I think it's gonna fit better if I move the armor down. Yeah. I do want to adjust this a little bit. He's got... Just move these guys up ever so slightly. I think the nose needs to shrink too. And maybe also, yeah, a bit lower. I want to age him down just slightly here. Just slightly. Oop. I did not mean to double select. That's because I have add to selection checked. There we go. I love that they're playing this song on Game Shops right now because I've been super into the Final Fantasy X music lately. Alright, so he's got like, so thumbs are gonna be that wasn't super even anyway. So the pauldrons are going to be sticking up from like the kind of neckline of the armor. We're gonna, thumbs are on the outside. That is a tiny finger. Okay, so I wanted to get... So I will shrink these hands down a little bit, but I did want to give him kind of a rounder, softer kid hands. Okay, let's figure this out. Yep. Also, just moving it could do a lot. And just a slight shrink. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Because I want, it's like the neckline of the armor, right? Is where I'm trying to, the collar of the armor is what he's like kind of adjusting. He's pulling it on over. He's got like the wrist bracers on, kind of. Maybe something like that, because his arm would be coming through. Then I would do a sound effect layer. I'll do that in a different color. That's an eraser. Okay. So, chunk, chunk. I am Oscar Fireforge. Still working on the voice. Okay, let's keep it going. Just, 5 more panels. I can do this. Well, maybe go back so like the straps of the strap of the adventurer's bag is like right here. Yeah, something like that. Okay, and here we cut to reality. Got the backpack going on here. So we've got like our little, excuse me, wolf statuette. Put like a book in here. We don't have to say what the book is, though it might be something that looks, a little bit like a player's handbook or something like that. Just saying. Okay. Next. So I don't know about it, like, I'm gonna take a quick moment and research something here. See what kind of Warhammer look like. Okay, well, we've got some that are decidedly mallet-like, some that have a sharper pick. Ooh, I like this. Okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. So I found a pretty cool reference here that I think I'm gonna use. Or at least one that goes for kind of what I'd already drawn. It matches a little more. So I'll just, okay. So it's even a little bit simpler. I don't need to draw like the hammer indents quite so much. Just like largely just the rectangle body here. with like the rough hewn stone impact parts on the end there. So I'd imagine some kind of ornate engraving on the side. I mean, not overly ornate, because I don't want to spend 40 hours doing it, but... Okay. I think I'm not trying to perfectly replicate anything I'm finding in reference. I am just looking a bit for some ideas to kind of refine the concept that I was already working with. Hey Don, how's it going? I'm good. How are you doing? So maybe even do a little bit like indent here. And then this is where it is good to see you back in, my friend. Staying chill and doing good? That is, that sounds good. That sounds nice. Largely the same here. We were just, we were on the road for a pretty long trip, 2 weeks. So I'm enjoying being back home. It's nice. Yeah. So I'm working on a comic right now. I know, right? Happy September. Holy cow. This year has just flown by, let me tell you. But September is one of my favorite months. So I'm excited. And it's ironic because like we don't get a huge like fall season here in Florida. Although I've lived in lots of other places that have fall. Actually, if I do this, and then we can bring that in a little bit. Yeah, I like that better. Round that out a little bit. Yeah, okay. Straight lines, my old nemesis. I had gotten some really good, like, I'd seen some really good advice, like, oh, you know, when you're drawing properly from the shoulder, the easiest straight line to draw is, the easiest way to draw a straight line is going straight down. I still have trouble with it, let me tell you. But at this point, it's kind of just become a running gag. It's like, oh, time to draw those straight lines. So it kind of works out. Oh, I wanted actually this one to go across, because he's kind of grabbing with his hand here. The bracer will come in like here-ish. Yeah, that works. That works. So what have you been working on lately, Don? eraser there. Okay. It doesn't have to be super detailed. Bring this down, and then we'll do kind of a... So our main character is like fantasy character is going to be all about, you know, the wolf thing here. So we'll work that in. Spider-Man, almost done with it. Hi, very cool. Yeah, Spider-Man was definitely my first introduction into comics, and always holds like a special place in my heart. So maybe we'll add a few like rivets here, like it's just got the solid metal. So it's gonna be like, I want to hint at like a dwarven type of thing going on here, but not, doesn't have to be specifically, doesn't have to scream it. Thankfully, I haven't had to yell at him a lot. Maybe I'll make this hammer a little, yeah. This is supposed to be a fairly strong weapon, so let's... I think that's pretty good. Oh, that's super cool. So 4 Marvel, DC, X-Men, and your own custom characters. Oh, that's gonna be super cool. So yeah, like Spider-Man was my first intro to comics, but then it was pretty deeply into X-Men for a while. So I've got to ask, like, who are some of your favorites from X-Men? So I think this is almost like a page tearing kind of effect here. Maybe we could do it as kind of a fade? I'm not sure. Storm and Magneto. Brother used to play X-Men Legends. He got slaughtered all the time by enemies. How about me? I think number one favorite is Jean Grey. But like I really liked Gambit. He was super cool. Nightcrawler was pretty amazing. And Shadowcat or Kitty Pryde. Although, like, yeah, when she was with Excalibur, mostly it was Shadowcat. So those are my top ones. But I also liked Havoc, who is like Cyclops' brother. That was pretty cool. He was in X Factor. It's like I read a lot, like some of the mainline X-Men, but then I got into like X Factor and Excalibur quite a bit. But it was fun. I have a special place in my heart for X-Men. Alright, leave that there. I can mess with that effect when I'm coming in to do final lines, like this weekend. Okay, drop the brush size down here. You know, it's funny. I hadn't initially intended for it to be humorous, like where he's like, "I will avenge my like, yeah, restore my clan's honor and avenge." He's like grabbing his warhammer, and then it's like, "Be home." I was like, "Be home for dinner." It is kind of a funny, you know, contrast you get going there. Let's smaller the shirt collar. Doesn't need to be quite so. Alright, we're gonna see if this foreshortening works. I'm not 100% sure that this is what I want to go for, but we'll see. So in my mind, what I want him to be doing here is he's like reaching for the dice on a shelf, and it's like the camera's behind the dice, right? So, you know, they're super big and you're super close and you've got the foreshortening. I'm not 100% sure it's gonna work the way that I want it to. So we'll see. We'll see. We can always change it later. All it takes is time. Good times, good times. Yeah, so we'll have good old D6 right here. I do a perspective somewhere like here. So, maybe a vanishing point kind of here-ish. Even lower could work. Yeah. Something like that. And then we'll do like the D20, which I'm definitely going to check a reference for. Cool. Alright, the faces are triangles. I know, right? It's one of those things that I've really had to, like, I definitely have always used them, but I've had to grow into confidence and feeling like it wasn't cheating. Like, it just took a long time. Like, I felt like, oh, I have to know how to draw everything off the top of my head. So, like, to really draw something, first I have to practice drawing it like 100 times until, like, I know absolutely how to draw it just from the top of my head. I'm glad I finally let go of that illusion, because that is unrealistic and honestly not super helpful. So there's that. Okay, then we got these guys kind of. Alright, so this will be like right here. Actually, a little bit thinner of a line. There we go. This one should be more like this. Better. You should just wing it all the time? Yeah, it's yeah, I agree. It's trying to draw everything where you have, like, when you feel like you can't do reference, and then just like you're like finally using it, you're like, oh, this actually really helped me. Yeah, I am 100% there. And sometimes things still look oddly proportioned even when I'm looking at reference. Okay, there we go. That's pretty good. Nope. That's pretty good. Okie dokie. So, I was going to ask Don, so you're redoing your portfolio. Where are you planning on submitting it places? Like, are you looking for like commission work? Are you submitting to any like comics houses? Are we looking here? Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure about this foreshortening. It's not. I do think I need to, draw the wrist in there a little bit. Plan on working either Insomniac or Marvel DC Comics. Oh, that would be so cool. So I haven't seen the second one yet. Was it Across the Spider-Verse? But I love the first one. I just haven't found the time yet. I'm just gonna pull down a little ruler here. Yep, I am on the eraser. There we go. Like the work that they did on the Spider-Verse movies was so was really groundbreaking. It was super cool. I was even reading about how like they animated the backgrounds and the foregrounds at like this kind of different frame rate, and the way that they did it to kind of give the foreground, like the characters got their kind of own like very smoother animation pace, but then the way they did the swipes, basically the other way around. But yeah, the way they lagged the frames and made up for the difference in the background, it gave it this kind of like slightly clunky page-turny comic kind of thing. Miles Morales fan for sure. Oh yeah, and especially when you see the movies, like even just the first one, like how can you not be? Oh, you've actually connected with people over at Insomniac? That's super cool. Wow. Yeah, that would be pretty amazing, as well. Like, so you're looking at like concept art design work. Oh, that would be super cool. Well, good luck. If you get in there, I would love to hear about it. That sounds pretty amazing. Okay. So this is one of those panels that is going to be super cool when it's done, but it's going to be a little bit of tricky navigating getting there. Sounds good, thanks. Just it's going to take a lot of thought and care to make sure that I'm kind of executing it the way that I want to. Yeah, because this is where he's stepping out his front door. But as we pan from left to right, it's fading from the very regular world that, you know, he's actually living in to the his imaginary inner world within his favorite tabletop game. You know, I could just measure this out on the grid, right? Because I've got... In fact, maybe I don't even need those guys, because I can just snap to my grid. Yep, definitely want that line still there. Okay. Right, pencils. There we go. And we're just gonna approximate 1, 2, 3 maybe. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and that works out perfectly. Nice. It's awesome when you just wing something and it kind of comes together. Good times, good times. All right. Right. Turn off those guides. Not quite. I will pull down a guide there. The concept in the blue. Thanks. I mean, I will probably line it in black eventually. I just really like doing my pencils in non-black colors just to kind of... It's like a mental differentiator for me. Also throws back to the days where like you could sketch in blue, scan it, and convert it to grayscale or black and white, and it would, you know, lose most of your sketch lines. Before I was really working digitally. Yeah. I was gonna ask Don, do you do much in the way of like storyboarding? Maybe we'll put like a... Oh, yes. Yeah, it was not necessarily like 100% a sightseeing trip. It was actually like a family trip for like a medical thing, and we turned it into a road trip to see family along the way. And the family part was cool. We got to see some pretty cool sights along the way, but like we went up to Boston. So from Florida, bit of a haul. But overall it was good. You know, like I'd never seen Niagara Falls before, and I got to see that along the way. We cut over from visiting family in Wisconsin, so we went like all the way along the Great Lakes, and that was pretty cool. Got to see like Plymouth Rock, which was pretty neat. So this is gonna go from being like the sidewalk to kind of this cobblestone broken trail. Oh, you tried storyboarding. It didn't work out well for you. Well, I'm curious. So what was challenging about it? I don't do proper storyboarding, so I'm curious. This wolf a little more assertive posture here. Not quite. Because sometimes I wonder, I'm like, oh, well, is it like, how much does it vary from, say, you know, thumbnailing out a comic? But I know storyboarding probably has it probably has a lot more beats to it than necessarily a comic. But I guess, you know, if you condense it down enough, it essentially becomes a comic of the video project. A little bit of a bank to this stream. Oh, he's better at animating and designing. I mean, that's cool. Like, that is such an amazing skill set. I'm very envious of that skill set. All right, so we're gonna have sidewalk. We'll go here. Give him like a stair railing. That angle's not quite right. Okay, let's stick with the sidewalk part first, because I need to think about that angle for a second. It is. It's super cool to see, like, just the wide variety, even within like the I love to do art. Even if it's within like I love to do drawn art, like there's so much variety. It's really incredible. even if it is like really easy to get drawn to the I want to do it all, which is not not necessarily an easy goal. So kind of a castle guy in here. It'll be like a really simple castle layout because I don't feel like drawing a complicated one. Like another turret right here. Oh, that's cool, like the 3D environment stuff. So you've done quite a bit already. And that's super cool though. I mean, all of it. It's one of those things where I've always been, I've always drawn, I've always made art and comics and that kind of thing, but I didn't go to school for it. Like my education is in science and technology, right? So there's so much stuff that was like, oh, that's cool, I wish I had done that. Oh, that's cool, I wish I had studied that. But I guess in the end, there's a lesson there about just being, grateful for what you did learn, and, accepting that you're never going to learn everything, but you can, if something is really important to you, you can try to switch over. Okay, this castle will need some adjustment, but it gets the idea of what I'm going for. Okay. Probably shrink it, because I do want it to be a bit more distant than this. Let's raid the castle. Yes. Well, our character could raid the castle after he completes his quest for vengeance. Perfectly normal thing for a kid to go on. Perfectly normal. Okay. I'm gonna come back to that sidewalk. I just realized I wanted to flesh out something here before I got too far into that. I drew this as a pine forest, but would it really be a pine forest? Yeah, this is where I'm definitely glad to take some of my time in the pencils process and fill in some of these details. because it turns out one thing that you don't think of when you think of making art is that it's just a whole lot of decision making. You are making so many decisions because you're creating all of this. And so like you can thumbnail something out pretty quickly, right? But you haven't made so many decisions. Maybe I'll move them. You know what? Okay, I can keep the sidewalk. The mailbox should not go there. The mailbox should go over here. That's kind of cool, because then you get that whole shifting from reality, like, because it's right by where it starts turning to cobblestone. Wrong tool there. There we go. Yeah. I think this will be cool once I get the pieces of it nailed out. It's funny, the whole thing about decision making, because like I'm kind of indecisive on a lot of stuff. I think Don, I don't think you were here, but I did a piece for a donation piece for Games Done Quick, and this last one I was trying to pick which game to do for my piece, and I think I started out with a list of 12, and then I narrowed it down to 6 that I thumbnailed, and I still couldn't pick, and then I was like penciling out every single one. It was not the most powerful decision making I've ever done. But yeah, it's ironic because in so many ways art is making decisions. Okay, drop this brush size down. So yeah, the sidewalk will then, actually, not the sidewalk, the street. The street will become the road to the castle. So we'll do that. You'll come in here. This is one of the cool things though, like it's not every day, but like when you manage to do the kind of panel or the kind of page where you're like, okay, this is a very uniquely comics thing to be able to pull this off in this manner. And like for sure, movies, other things could simulate the effect in a different way. But like that feeling, you're like, yes, this is a uniquely comics presentation. It's always a cool feeling. And that's what I'm hoping this page comes out like. I think as I'm seeing it kind of come together, I feel like it is. So you can put like a minivan in here maybe. That's not quite right. Do we want a car? Also, that road size is not quite to the scale of the car that I was drawing. That's okay. Maybe I can actually draw like a little bit of a kind of mountain range, like the foot here. not sure. I kind of got that going on in the background here. So it transitions that way. Okay, we're mostly there. Mostly there on this panel. Just want to figure out, 'cause this will be like the forest or whatever. Cause yeah, I started drawing it as like pine trees. Trying to figure out if it would be better served to be like a more deciduous type of thing. I think it could with just have some like shrubs and stuff. It doesn't matter a great deal to the story. There's just a part where we're like, you know, like our main character is looking through some shrubs and actually I don't want to carve that one. I really like that tree. So then I'll draw one thinner back here. This kind of descent into as you go back. Some underbrush, stuff like that. Okay. Maybe we'll have like a bridge over here, something like that, since he's going to be going into that area. Okay. It's pretty good. All right, we are after midnight. I do want to be wrapping up pretty soon here. Tomorrow's a work day. We're just about penciled out here. I don't think I'm going to get these last couple of panels done in a reasonable amount of time because I got a couple of characters that I'm still kind of designing on the fly. We'll see. Let's at least get... He's got like his gauntlets, draw the pauldrons right there. Like his adventurers pack. Give him like a little bit of a helmet over here. So he's getting more drawing. Okay. Something like that. Okay. Try kind of a bigger tree in front here. Something like that. Okay. Try like a clearing in here so that we we'll do these a little bit quicker and rougher just because it's also a reminder to myself to, not get too lost in the details even when I'm inking this, because you can do a lot with just color. Okay. I'm also getting pretty tired, so I think this is about the time to wrap this up. Not bad. One more panel to pencil, and then lines will be a lot of just tracing, focusing on pen pressure, and then we'll need a little bit more really design work. But I am very happy with this start. Always save your work. Alright, so what I'm gonna do... Oh, thanks, Don. Yeah, you have a great night, too. Hopefully chat again with you soon. I'll switch over to just chatting here for the last minute or so. And wrap up. I don't think I have that many announcements. We're on a pretty normal schedule now. Now that travel's over, I'm not planning any time away, so I'll be back Thursday night. It would be nice if I could fit in some extra streams aside from Thursday nights, but I cannot commit to that. That will be either surprise streams or announced over on our Instagram. You can find us Instagram and YouTube, same handle as we have here on Twitch, WagWorksGA. But aside from that, we'll pick back up on this piece next week, and that'll be probably the last one I work on it for a little while, as it'll be due the 15th. This first page inked and colored with what the lines that I've already got. So yeah, we'll be working on this one again next week, and then I'll be jumping into probably Core Toons the following week. That is at least my plan. So yeah, we'll see where we go from there. Thanks to everybody who's joined me. It's been kind of an awesome, familiar faces night tonight with Don. Thanks for coming by. We got to see Janos for a bit. Even Frank showed up. That was incredible. So yeah, happy to see everybody. I hope you're all having a great night. If you were here, if you were lurking, I'm happy you're here too. I hope you had a good chill time. I always enjoy doing this, and I enjoy getting to share it with you guys. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. I will see you all next week, Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern time. That is my stream time. In the meantime, have a great week. Have a great night. Take care of yourselves, and bye.